Hello, welcome to Cybercrime Detection and Prevention, a course being offered by IFM in collaboration with TEA. This will be basically the 50th episode in sequence, and we'll be discussing mobile device security. It will take roughly 45 to an hour in between. Uh, our content will comprise what mobile security is all about, why is it important, uh, I'll discuss the key component of mobile security, which are vulnerability, threat, and the risk. And I will wrap up with security, what actually is required to secure a mobile device. Uh, Basically, what we call mobile security, general security, which is general security to computer devices, is all about protection. And the mobile device is quite different, the same, but here we intend to protect the small or smartphone, tablet, laptops, and that's basically portable devices. Uh, and basically information they contains from harm, safety, I'm sorry, or unauthorized use. In most cases, our concerned mobile basically device protection is that they contain most of our personal information, and sometimes if your mobile device is associated with the organization where you work in, it might basically contain business information. So the need for protecting it is important. I'll discuss that one later in some future slides. Now, the key terms when we discuss security, which you might have discussed in some previous basic lectures, uh, of the concern is threats, vulnerability, and risky, on which I'll discuss in detail in the following slide, but actually can be able to know what's it as we go along. Threat is something basically that can damage or destroy an asset. In our case, when a mobile phone comes in, it's all about the physical part of the mobile phone and equally its contents regarding software and data. That's what the assets we are talking about here. Vulnerability is a weakness or a gap uh, which you want to basically protect or can be exploited. Risk is basically what happened when a vulnerability is exploited by the threat. We'll see that one, and I'll basically related in the following slides. Now let's basically jump into threats. As I mentioned earlier, that threats are basically a attack that are intended to compromise or steal data from mobile device like smartphone or tablets. These threats often take a these threats uh, this threat often takes place from malware or spyware, giving basically unauthorized access to that device. It is basically malicious or negative event that takes advantage of vulnerability within a mobile device. Vulnerability is weakness. It will be an application on hardware which can be used the gateway because they are based on exploitation of software or hardware flaws of a device. If your device has got some flaws which can be exploited, and basically those are described as vulnerabilities. Risk actually happened is a combination of the potential threats and existing vulnerability. It might result to loss of a device, loss of data, or it may cause harm. Even in the issue that on the that may cause a malfunction, might occur in both software and hardware as well. So when the vulnerability is exploited, we end up either losing our device or losing the data that's being stored in the device, or equally there could be some malfunction of those two things. Here you can see basically uh, uh, all the three basically are related: threat, vulnerability, and risk. Now let's discuss why is mobile security important. Why is it important? Okay. Most of us have mobile phone, and the reasons why we have them: first, the affordable, the portable. Okay, it can be used as a personal device, but it can be used for organization purpose where you work, and um, they are everywhere. There is quite different network for connections, for example, wireless, Bluetooth. Okay, and with those interconnectivity, they attract basic attention of the bad guys or hackers, and they can be used to attack as basic devices. Can be breach of data. Now, let's see what about what now secure are saying regarding status of security of mobile devices. They are saying most of basic devices are using Android as operating system, and here now secure is saying that 82% of Android devices, okay, might be you and me who are using Android basically, is that they're using the old versions, not the latest one. Okay, those using AirPods, it's estimated to be 55%. It's going to be less compared to what Android have. That's 55%. They're using basically the old versions. Okay. They're saying 35% of present communication basically is unencrypted. Okay. I'll try to explain basically encryption is all about in future slides. And each mobile device is connected to on average of 160 unique IP address every day. Okay. Among those 160, chances are it might be connected to the malicious IP address, which if basically from the first analysis of now secure that if you are using the old version of your Android application, Android operating system, it might be exploited by the weakness that might be found. So if you are being connected to at least 160 IP address on daily basis, another thing that according to now secure is that 43% of mobile devices users do not use passcode. Okay, they don't use password. Okay, they don't use password. This way, these days you can use a passcode, basically password. You can use biometric authentication mechanisms. That's basically fingerprint or which face recognition. And people basically don't use those kind of authentication mechanisms. 82% of Android devices were susceptible to at least one of 25 vulnerability found in Android operating systems. Okay, so uh, whether you use basically that's the case of Android, but still even on iOS you can see the vulnerabilities. Okay, which most mobile phone are exposed to. Um, Business applications are 3 times more likely to leak login credentials than average applications. What means here, if you have got a business, for example, if your mobile phone has a business application like bank applications, mobile basically banking applications, those applications are 3 times likely to leak login credentials. Okay, login credentials. If you log in basically to a bank from your mobile application, then a chance that uh, your credential might be leaked. A chance basically 3 times much than basically average applications. Applications like uh, maybe basically a lot of applications basically, for example, email applications may not be that much of interest. Social media applications are 3 times more likely on average to expose a user password from that application. Social media applications, we know, example, Facebook, Instagram, and even WhatsApp. Okay. Another is one for mobile application, including at least one high risk security flaw. Okay, we've got a lot of mobile applications that we store on a mobile phone, and the risk basically of it flows. Okay, basically flows I said earlier are nothing but vulnerabilities which are witnessed. So those applications we store, uh, 1 out of 4 is most likely to have a flaw. Basically, those flaws that you're talking about, weakness can be exploited by hackers and the armor basically system. Half of apps with 5 to 10 million download normally include flaws. So normally when you are looking for application, you might be interested to look basically how many basically have downloaded the applications, their comment, their views. They might be positive, but chances are that those which are most likely used by others, hackers basically can penetrate and insert some flaws, which once we download or use them, we may end up being in trouble. Now, um, so in this particular section, I'm going to discuss about mobile security threats, which are intended for mobile devices. We have roughly up to 4 kind of categories. You can categorize them into malicious application, network-based levels, attacks, potential vulnerabilities within a device, and equally on a mobile device. On a mobile OS, okay. The figure here gives a summary of categories of mobile threats. Okay, you've got the if you download basic applications, chance those applications might be exposed some kind of weakness inside the threat by itself. The general basically cyber security threats like phishing, social engineering, um, or network basically threats, network threats basically to mobile phones, because mobile phone basically can be connected to Wi-Fi, Bluetooth connections. Okay, these days there's direct Wi-Fi, those kind of connections may uh, can present threats, especially when you are connected to an open, basically, Wi-Fi connections. There could be physical threats, which can be due to basically safety or loss of device. Okay. If you go into details regarding basically mobile application security threats, we have seen that as application-based threats happens when people normally download applications, or you download applications that looks like legitimate, but actually skim data from a device. For example, spyware, malware that steal personal and business information without people realizing if this happening. And we basically web-based applications let's um, this happened when you visit basically a website which is infected, and you end up basically downloading some malicious code from the site, which might end up affecting your device. I said earlier about network security threats. This is the list when basically connects to networks like Wi-Fi, unauthorized Wi-Fi, could be Bluetooth, or could be Wi-Fi direct connections. Okay, those are the ones which could lead to a, a bad guys who attack your mobile device. Um, Another device, basically, another threat could be basically mobile device. Specific threat, basically, there might be physical, basically, threats that your mobile device could be stolen. Actually, it's portable. It's kind of a weakness by safe that can be stolen. That would be one of the problems. An example, basically, of threats that I've given in the previous slides explained. Um, there are social engineering threats, that leakage threats by mobile applications. I've already mentioned that one. And secure basically Wi-Fi in Somali. End-to-end basically encryption. Okay. Internet of Things, spyware, poor password ability, loss of data, and the out of date operating system. These are among basically the threats which uh, when our devices are not protected, these threats can exploit vulnerabilities that are within those devices and then cause harm, or that basically risky, which is predicted to take place. Also about social engineering, and it's all about uh, phishing. We did basic social engineering in the second module with one of the instructor in this particular course, and they might have had things like email phishing, which actually went quite a lot in more detail regarding phishing about. There will be basically data leakage. Okay, is one of the threats, which normally this could be basically due to the application we store, which is the application which is stored is malicious in nature, and then the information could be leaked, especially basically a login informations. Okay, could be taken. Okay. If you connect it to any secured basically wireless connections, basically public, if you are a beach goer sometimes at the beach, there's a open Wi-Fi. Basically in public spaces, you find basically most of Wi-Fi are open, and if they're open, basically might be a exchange information between their systems, which is completely unencrypted, basically data being exposed, and you may end up losing the information, and that's basically is a bad thing. Another thing is about end-to-end encryption. And I'll show basically next slide, you can understand what actually it means. This slide, you can see the connection between a sender and receiver could be encrypted from the two-end part, but in between there can be some exchange in which information might be exposed, and that exposure might lead basically to the bad guys who may use the information in a long way and so. Internet of Things basically is all about things. Our connection basically in terms of data exchange was only limited to computers, but now they being extended to mobile devices, and they are becoming much more smaller devices which are using data exchange with an IP basically communication systems. For example, we're using basically Apple Watch. Okay, I used to have one of this one here. This is a Apple Watch. And basically, I think is a number of Apple Watch, but it is IP based. If I'm walking around, this can link with my mobile phone with Bluetooth basically exchange of data, and it's one of those small devices. Okay, one of the example of the Internet of Things, and basically, if this exchanging with my mobile phone information, basically, this one can be used actually to pass a malicious basically code in which can export to my mobile phone. Spyware is one of those which collect data commonly stored in mobile device. When a user click on the malicious advertisement, for instance, and that can be used to trick a user or through scam that trick a user into downloading unintentionally. Poor password habit, basically people have got a poor password habit. Okay, using basically a simple password which can, for the sake basically of not getting in trouble to remember long password, people normally have got a bad habit of password. So those bad habits, it can compromise the security of their devices. A loss of stolen devices. If a device is stolen, you may lose basically the data. Okay, that's a threat for itself. But with more people working remotely in public places like cafe or coffee shops, loss of stolen devices poses growing risky to your data and assets. So another thing, basically, the last one is about using basically out of date operating system. Okay, as you mentioned earlier, is according to the now secure, I think I showed much earlier that they say the 92% of Android operating system basically users are using the maybe outdated versions. So if you are using basically updated basically versions, the chances are it's unpatched. Okay, it has got some flaws which might be exploited by the hackers to cause harm to your computer or mobile device. Now, when you say some people might be confused. Might be you lose your data, might be basically depending on the intention of the hacker. May lose your data or make it some malfunction to your operating system and those applications. Okay, and or maybe some application unusable, that basically malfunction, those kind of stuff like that. It does happen when a vulnerability in a particular operating system is exploited by the hacker. Okay? Or you may be intending to exploit the vulnerability and end up stealing some information from your mobile phone. So now, let's look into the best way in which you can use to protect your mobile device. How do you go along to protect mobile phones? I've just given or explained all about the security of a mobile device. Okay, security means basically protecting our mobile device from harm. Then now we have seen basically what actually is it security. Uh, how can the security of a device be compromised? We've seen there are three things basically take into consideration. We need to consider threats, what are the threats, but actually the weakness of our mobile devices. If one of those weaknesses are exploited by the threats, then we end up getting a, a, the compromise of our security takes place in that particular situation. So now, when it's compromised, chances are that compromisation is basically risky of losing the data, of losing the information that is in the mobile device, or affecting operating systems. Uh, Having seen those, uh, let's now see discussing the protection mechanism. What can we do to protect our device from those threats? Okay. Uh, this diagram basically gives kind of a summary in a nutshell what actually these things that we can discuss about the security of our mobile device. Can you set password properly? We found that a percentage of people don't basically use password to secure their mobile device, which is basically not a good thing. Keep our phone locked basically, and keep our device up to date in terms of the updating the mobile phone operating systems. So let's jump into those in more details in the following slides. Number one, let's keep our mobile phone up to date. Okay. What I mean here is you update your operating system and equally the application installed on the mobile phone. It could be basically you can automate updates, or it can be manually, but you can schedule the updates. Maybe on every Friday, or on every weekend when you have time, or you can automate that when there's an update, basically the corresponding application or the operating system will uh, automatically update itself. Choose security mobile. Choose mobile security. These days the application which is antivirus or anti-malware which is available. It could be at a cheaper cost. Basically, they're not expensive these days. Could be a couple of dollars. Okay, you have a annual subscription. Okay. Install firewall, protect your mobile phone. Equally, those which are free, but those which are commercial. And equally, when I said in the previous point, the point about the malware or, no, I'm sorry, it says antivirus or anti-malware, those which are free, but they have limited functionalities. So once you upgrade for premium basically services, they upgrade basically the services which the application can provide. So if you intend for annual subscriptions, it's basically, but in most cases you can afford for annual subscription, then you can renew after 1 year after annual, you get those licenses. Um, always use your password. Protect your mobile phone. Okay, you can risk it without any password. It's very risky. Don't try that one. So you can train your device to use biometric-based authentication mechanism, or can use a passcode. We basically kind of a pin or combination of a pin and the number. These days, basically those things are available within authentication mechanism system. So try that. Downloading applications, as we all like, download from well-known stores, so Google Play Store, Apple Store, and the Microsoft Store for Microsoft applications. If you use Microsoft applications, you're using that one, which I think is also don't have that one these days. But you're using basically my Microsoft Store in your Windows operating system for your laptop. Okay, because one thing that why do we why am I advising you to uh, download the application from a official basically stores? Is that those applications are being vetted uh, by those authorized stores. Okay, don't use third-party basically applications. Always try to read the agreements. Okay, the agreements normally basically are boring and a lot of words, too long, number of pages. People don't normally just yes, 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 and then install. But try as much as you can to read those agreements before you agreed. Okay. Basically, the developer are very much tricky. They just write a lot of words. I get basically annoyed by them. Even myself, I do the same thing, but say yes, yes, but try to for security reasons, you need to be a bit more cautious. Don't jump by say yes, yes, yes. Try to read the detail before you say yes. Now, to sum up, as a couple what you've seen, uh, our discussion was all about mobile security. Okay, we intended to secure our mobile devices. With mobile here, we mean smartphone, equally feature phone, which is this is the smartphone, this is for texting, uh, tablets, laptops, those all are kind of mobile devices that portable, carry them everywhere you are. So they are susceptible to attack. Okay, so we uh, have seen basically what security is all about. What are the key components or key terms discussed about security? So vulnerability, threats, and risky. Now explain basically those terms and explain more detail basically what they mean. And you have discussed or given some suggestion the best way to protect your mobile device. Okay, on which you look into things like where download the applications and what. Okay, so on behalf of our sponsors, who are sponsored this particular course there, and thank you very much. I'll come maybe in the next phase to give some demonstration how you can protect your mobile device. Thank you very much.